right, who's not dead? Sound off.
Who am I kidding? Lonesome Dove is big enough. There's no way I'd read this doorstop. But more on this in a minute. Yeah, so, in case you missed it, Indiana got wiped off the face of the map by an inland hurricane. I never thought I'd say that in my life. But welcome to a hodgepodge episode of the Check Your Shelf, because we couldn't do anything last week because of the rain. I didn't have power, didn't have internet. Steve lives on a house on a hill, and it's surrounded by, he's got a moat now, so he's got a castle. They say a man's home is his castle. Anyway, hopefully next week we'll be back to doing our what we consider normal. But Steve sent me a video. He was doing a Goodwill tour and got kind of caught up in the moment and made a quick video and sent it to me. So I thought it would be fun to do kind of a duet. I'll show you that video in just a minute. And when we get back, I have a couple thoughts on it, and I have an announcement to make. But in the meantime, I'll go ahead and I'll queue up that video for you.
Hey, look, one of the joys of having a booktube channel is going to Goodwill and looking for books, you know, because I'm not a huge collector. I don't know what I'm looking at usually. Paul's taught me a lot, so you know, I do my best. But I used to go and I'd be like, should I get this, shouldn't I get it? And I'm like, it's 99 cents, get it, what the heck, and then you'll have another book. If you don't want it, it was only 99 cents. Like if Paul goes, no, dude, that's trash, I could just, you know, give it to somebody. Or I could do what I did recently, and I can go on the channel and go, hey, anybody want this? It looks like something somebody might like, and somebody like Jeff from Jeff's Cave of Cool Books might say, sure, I'll take it, and I could send it to him in Washington. And it's 99 cents. Get my car washed here. Hope you guys don't mind. Anyway, so lately, hang on, I gotta talk to this person. Hello. We'll get just the regular, whatever the basic wash is. Okay. I guess it's called the basic wash.
Yeah. That'll be $12 for you today.
Yeah.
How's your day going so far?
So far, so good. Just went over to Goodwill to look at books, and they raised the prices on all the books. I mean, $4.99 for a book's not bad, but when it's a used old book, you know. How about you? Good day.
It's going pretty good. It's not too hot.
Yeah.
Hopefully it does not rain again.
Yeah.
Here's your wash ticket.
All right,
if
thanks.
you scan the QR code and complete the survey, you can have $5 off for my next one.
Right on. Thank you.
Thank you.
She was nice. Anyway, so I'm over there today. And this happened the last two times. My favorite one over by Lawrence, and then this one over here in Castleton. I'm looking at the books and I'm like, paperback Tom Sawyer. Yeah, you know, I don't know if I need a copy of Tom Sawyer. I might already have one. But, you know, for 99 cents, why not? I turned the thing over. It's like $4.99 for Tom Sawyer. And I'm thinking, well, that's, you know, $4.99 is not a lot of money. But when it's a little less than gently used, shall we say, and, you know, who knows which. There we go. Neutral, no brakes. All right. So anyway, you know how it is. It's like maybe I already have a copy of it somewhere, or if I want to read it, I can. You know. And then I thought, well, no, I'm not gonna. $4.99. Oh look, Ray Bradbury, Fahrenheit 451. Maybe I should get that. Hope you guys don't mind. I'm getting the car washed. I'm just trying to do a few things at once here. Hang on. Okay. Like Fahrenheit 451. I've really been getting into Ray Bradbury lately, and I thought, how fun would that be to have my own copy of Fahrenheit 451? I've been wanting to reread it anyway, and it's not a it's a Del Rey, but it's not anything special. I mean, Fahrenheit 451, I believe, was first published as The Fireman in like Amazing Stories or something like that, and it was a shorter version. And then he expounded on it, extended it, and turned it into this novel, really famous novel. I think maybe that's the novel he might, other than the Martian Chronicles, he may be most famous for Fahrenheit 451. It became a movie. Everything stopped, and now some dude's out in the... One of my fears is getting stuck in a car wash. There's nothing I can do. There's a car in front of me and one behind me. It's not like I can drive out of here. I suppose I could walk out of here. I might get wet. It's been raining a lot lately. Can't be any worse in here. The reason, hey, I know it's been raining a lot. And it's supposed to rain again. But we went on a road trip recently and the car got really dirty. And my daughter's taking the car this weekend on a road trip with her friends. And I didn't want her to be embarrassed by a dirty car. So I think that's okay. That's not being too helicopter parent, I don't think. And I don't think it's a waste of a wash. Especially when I can get $5 off the next one if I scan that barcode and do the survey. Where was I? Oh yeah, Fahrenheit 451, really well-known novel. I thought I ought to have a copy of it. It's Del Rey. It's so recent that Del Rey's website is printed on the book. If that gives you any idea. So it's at least 96, 2000 is the oldest it can be. So it's not a special copy. It's nothing special. It's got all the words in it that it's supposed to. But I'm like, for 99 cents, why not? I'm going to get it. I turned it over, $3.99. And I'm looking at the pages, they're kind of yellowed, and there's like yellow spots, like maybe it got some water damage. I'm not doing that. They could have gotten 99 cents for that book, for which they paid nothing. They just had to cover the cost, you know, having their building and doing their, paying their people and all that. I get it, they have costs. And I also get it that they're trying to operate as a charity, so the money is supposed to go to a good cause. I know they have their expenses they have to cover. I get it, but their inventory is free. I bet if you look at their inventory costs, it's like they don't pay anything for their inventory, so they could charge. I mean, if they wanted to raise prices, it could have been like for that Fahrenheit 451. I don't know why they chose that. They still have some 99-cent books. I don't know. I just think it's possible across the board that they maybe they have said, hey, why should we let the scalpers make the money? Why should we let scalpers come in here, pay 99 cents, and turn around and sell them for $8 on eBay when that money should be going to Goodwill? I don't know. There should be another way other than the rest of us having to pay more. Maybe they could make a deal with scalpers or something. Say, hey, we'll give you guys a deal. If you stop doing this, we'll figure out some way to work together. Something like that. I don't know. There ought to be a way. Smarter people than me can figure it out. But this ain't the way, because it's making me like go, well, is it worth going to Goodwill? I might as well go to half-price books if we're going to be paying these prices. I don't know if it's half-price at half-price books anyway. Sometimes I think it's like maybe 3/4 price, but that I'm not sure that name for a bookstore would be great. Anyway, there was also a Huckleberry Finn in there. Again, I forget now, $3.99, $4.99. I took a picture so y'all can see. And again, same sort of like, hey, it'd be nice to have a copy of this. Oh, I missed one. I didn't get a picture of it, but The Sun Also Rises by Hemingway, which I think is an awesome story. I haven't read it since I was probably a teenager in my 20s, but I remember really liking it. So I was thinking about getting that, but again, it was $4.99. Like, if I ever want to get it, I'll probably buy a more special copy on eBay or something, which will probably be like $6 or $7, but you know, it'll be, you know, maybe an earlier edition or nicer, in better shape. I don't know. It's just when you're in Goodwill, you get what you get. You don't get upset, and you pay 99 cents and you don't mind, but when you gotta stand there and go, is this really, do I want to spend $4 on this? I got the $4, but it's like the principle of the thing, you know. It is weird because it's not really the money, because like when I go to check out usually at Goodwill, they're like, you want to round up? And I always say yes. I'm like, yeah, round up, it's for a good cause. And they're like, thank you, and I feel good about myself. And then I'm like, why am I haggling in my own head about 99 cents versus $3.99 or whatever when I'm just going to round up anyway? They got this rewards program where you can get 10% off too. And I always think that's kind of funny. It's like, you're getting 10% off at Goodwill. This last one, it's not really anything to do with the price of it. In fact, I don't remember what the price was. Maybe it's in the picture. I just thought it was funny. This copy of 50 Shades of Grey has been, well, let's just say it's seen some things. Yeah, anyway, I was gonna like just write some notes and like talk about this and the next time Paul and I record, but then I thought I'll forget everything. He told me to write some notes down, but I'm like, I don't know. I probably need to capture my feelings on it now, and I'll send him the pictures and see if he wants to work his editing magic. We didn't get a chance to record because there was what he called an inland hurricane, and I trust what he says because he knows people in the types of jobs where they know stuff. You know, they know stuff that you and I don't. We don't read in the newspapers. And I was gone the week before. No, I wasn't gone. Something else happened. I mean, it's been a heck of a couple of weeks. But bottom line is, I thought, let me get this done before I forget what I wanted to say. And that's really all I had to say about that.
Okay, don't ask where the overhead camera came from. I've heard all kind of speculation about what's going on at Goodwill. Mine still has their books at like 99 cents to $1 to $1.50. I suspect Steve being in Indianapolis, which everybody knows, so it's not a doxing. Go back and watch our vlogs. I'm thinking the bigger the city, the higher the price. I don't know, but I have noticed that the folks at Goodwill are basically beating the scalpers to their own game. Unfortunately, we suffer for it. They're like, you're not going to make the money off of it. We're going to make the money off of it. But instead of, like he said, instead of me buying that book for 99 cents, I'm putting that $3.99 book back on the shelf. I'm not going to spend that kind of money when I could have spent $1 yesterday. And then the scalpers won't get it because they're not going to make any profit off of it. The other thing I noticed was his Tom Sawyer book. That's a Signet. Now, the thing I've heard about Signet is that they are no longer going to be publishing, you know, your regular size paperbacks anymore. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if they're going to go to trade paperback size or not, but they're no longer going to be making like this size book, is what I've heard. And that's going to create a collector market for that company. Now, what leads me to wonder about that is, like, if you go to a Goodwill, and I found this out because my girlfriend is smarter than I am, because we'll go clothes shopping and I'll find, like, here's a white shirt for $3. Here's a white shirt for $8. Now, mind you, we go on half off days, so drop those prices down. But it's the principle of thing. She pointed out brand name versus like Joe Boxer. So there is something to what he said about possibly they think, well, this author's popular, so we're going to put a higher price tag on it. But I just think overall they're just raising everything, across the board. The only reason why some of those books were maybe still 99 cents is because they don't want to take the time to go in and put a new sticker on it. Because the last thing they want is somebody, wait, this book was 99 cents yesterday. Why is it $4 now? Anyway, those are my thoughts on the matter. If you have any idea what's going on, let us know down below. And you may have picked up a theme. Steve and I like to go to Goodwill's to look for books because it's still one of the cheapest places. The one here I have in town, garbage for books. Lots of, dead racist grandpa books and chain smoking grandma smoke, but nothing of any, nothing that I would personally want. Whereas the one in the next town over that we made the vlog on, that's like my third favorite Goodwill to go to because it usually I will almost always walk out of there with about that many books. Which let's see here. Okay, that tracks. So yeah, those are my thoughts on it. Um, if you've made it this far through the chaos and you haven't already and you like what we're doing, let us know down below by liking and subscribing and hitting that bell notification so you don't miss a single video. We're every bit helps. Okay, now back to the Robert McCammon. Man, that's a name. Robert McCammon's swan song. One of my good friends, Faith, who if you follow me on social media, there's a hashtag sorry Faith because she always thinks that dad jokes are so corny. So any chance I get, I find corny dad jokes. Anyway, her and her husband were both good friends of mine, and unfortunately, about 3 years ago, she lost her husband. He was the guy that got me turned on to guys like Michael Moorcock because this dude had read so many books and so many different genres that there wasn't too much he wasn't familiar with. Well, this one happens to be one of his favorite books of all time, but he was a big fan of Robert McCammon. McCammon? Sure. And she's trying to rebuild her collection of his books because, it's what I would do. And so far, I managed to track down Swan Song because I trip over this book everywhere I go. But some of the other books I don't really have much luck with. So what I'm wondering is there anybody out there, whether you're a booktuber or a booktube watcher, you probably have excess books. I'm looking for other books in his collection, and he's got quite a few of them from the looks of it. I won't go over all of them because if you're a fan, you know what he's done. So what I thought I'd do is if you have one, you can send us an email and let me know. And if you want to trade it for something, I'm not going to trade book for book, but here's what I'm going to trade for. Okay, you obviously, if you watch our channel, you know about Weird Frequencies, you know about Jake over at Pulp Mortem, Nick at the Book Graveyard, Tim at Secret Fire Books, Chris Liminal Spaces, Brian Bad Taste Books. I could go on and on and on. Andrea at Infinite Text. Well, they're putting out an anthology series of like weird fiction. This is the first book, Weird Frequencies. It came out last year, I think, and it's a lot of fun. It's every bit as comparable as like the great weird fiction short story collections that we all probably rabidly consume. Well, they're going to be doing another one very soon. It's going to be called Out of the Void, and in it, I sort of voluntarily did illustrations for it, like how back in the day you had the cool illustrations in a lot of these old anthologies from like the 60s. And I've been having a lot of fun drawing them. I'm going to keep doing them as long as they'll have me and as long as I enjoy doing them because they've got other book anthologies lined up. So what I thought I would do is, so I'm an artist is what I'm saying. If you can find me some Robert McCammon books that aren't Swan Song, by the way, I have this one. I will gladly trade some of my Star Trek headshots that I've done. I got some Star Trek in here from the original series. I've got some other stuff here coming up. Like I have Clint Eastwood from the Man with No Name series. Lee Van Cleef, Eli Wallach. What else do I got here? Uh, uh, a little Casablanca work here, and I also have this one I did of Debbie Harry that I'm particularly fond of. If you can find and want to trade any of his books, I will gladly mail you randomly selected. I'm not going to do this like, you want this and you want that. A randomly selected illustration from this. If it happens that I run out of these, I have tons more stuff that I'm willing to give away. They'll all be mailed flat, sealed, so they'll be protected. But it's more so that my friend can have a little bit of her, husband back, is why I'm doing this. All right, that having been said, for Steve, for Bob Howie, I'm Paul. And the next time you're looking for something to read, check your shelf. Editing Paul here. All joking aside, last Tuesday, so 5 days ago, if you haven't heard, Indiana pretty much got trounced with what could only be described as a land-based hurricane. Imagine a tornado, but a sheet of one that just sweeps across the whole countryside. Now, Steve's family and my family are fine. We experienced some power outages. We're on the opposite ends of the thing. But the town that I live in pretty much is still only like half powered. All total, I guess, across the state, some 100,000+ folks still don't have power, which means, their groceries went bad. That's down from 300 plus. So the power companies have been doing an amazing job getting everything ready, everything up and running. But just because we're okay doesn't mean everybody else is. So I'm going to put some links down below of places you can go to if you want to help out, like financially, because people lost so much during all this, and it's unprecedented. We never had one of these before. So the fact that we're actually functioning or semi-functioning is pretty impressive. But like I said, I'll leave some links down below. There's a couple places I can think off the top of my head. You can donate to the Food Bank of Northwest Indiana. You can donate to the Gleaners Food Bank of Indiana Incorporated. Steve's actually worked with them, and they do great work. And if you don't want to help the humans, but you want to help the animals, you can always hit up any Indiana-based animal shelter. I'd like to say this isn't our normal thing, but since we've been raising awareness for the Robert E. Howard House, I thought, this is a little bit closer to home. Any help would be greatly appreciated. That's about all I got. Thanks for your support.